one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Welcome everyone, remind all issues which come before this board should be determined in light of how they affect the children and their education. First order of business is public comment. Okay, I'm going to move on to student report, which I'm guessing there is not one. I haven't seen it. And consent agenda, we need approval of the minutes and approval of claims, please.
Make a motion.
And first and a second, any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Administrative reports, Lacey.
Mine's pretty short this month. Arts council presentation, was good. Kids liked it, teachers liked it, it was the end of March. Sherry and I attended an Infinite Campus workshop the 1st of April in Manhattan, and it was very worthwhile. Midterm 4 already is tomorrow. Kindergarten roundup and preschool screening is on the 28th. We're working very collaboratively to put this day together. The students will be allowed, prospective students, will be allowed to take a tour of the school. A couple of 6th graders are going to lead those little kids around, and screening will start at 9. Ms. Kallstrom is working hard to get that all organized for us. Jane will bring kids over from the preschool. National Honor Society students will be assisting with helping the kids through the screening, and parents are invited to wait in the cafeteria and enjoy refreshments. Mrs. Hagan has organized student council elections for the upcoming school year to take place on May 1st in the afternoon. Ms. Bresky is working hard on the schedule for the elementary track meet on May 15th. We will be inviting parents to stay for lunch that day in between the awards and the track meet. It's going to be a wild day that day, so if you need a little excitement, come on in. Student surveys for classes for next year have been completed. Our goal is still to have everyone registered for next year before we break for the summer. Fingers crossed.
So Mandy Adams, the realtor for Yvonne Kostelecki, called inquiring if the district is interested in purchasing the home as it is now for sale. So if we want to discuss that further, we will need to call a building and facilities meeting. April 22nd at 6 p.m. in the library here, there will be a meeting to discuss the levy and also candidate forum. Seniors were interested in the procedure of voting levies and asked if they could get more information. I shared what I could, and then they wanted to visit with the candidates, so they have come up with some questions. National Honor Society induction will be at 7 o'clock in the cafeteria after this. Tomorrow I will be attending a job fair in Dillon, seeking applicants for math, music, and elementary. The Community Expo will be here on the 26th from 6 to 12, and then they will transition that, and Lori Sorensen's services will be in the high school gym, just so everyone's aware. Our high school golf meet will be May 3rd at Arrowhead Meadows. Divisional golf and district track will both take place on May 8th. Golf is at Cottonwood and Bozeman, and track is at Belgrade. The spring music concert will be May 12th at 6 in the multi-purpose gym. And then MHSA awards and high school awards will be on the 13th at 6. Dinner will be provided by the Booster Club. May 15th will be a super busy day, and we're hoping the weather holds, because track day never seems to do that. There's going to be, seniors will do their graduation walk. We'll have elementary awards in classrooms and in the gym, depending on the grade level. And then the track and field day will take place afterwards. The 16th and 17th will be divisional track in Missoula. Graduation then will take place at 2 on the 18th. State golf is the 19th through the 21st in Sydney. And then we'll have junior high awards and 8th grade promotion at 6 p.m. on the 21st. And then May 22nd through the 24th is state track in Missoula, so that's a really busy May. So then also, we don't have to do anything with this policy, but I wanted the policy there for you to understand some of the STARS Act. So I included that policy. It's policy 5505. MTSBA will send an email on May 15th or upon signing by the governor. There's a statement, it's further down. I don't worry. And we need to be able to sign it immediately to receive funding from the STARS Act. District policy may only be used by those that don't have a CPA, so we don't need to include the policy, but the policy kind of clears up some of the language and things so that you understand it. The finalized agreement must be in place with a CBA, or an MOU is an acceptable, or an MOU is one of those acceptable agreements, but must be agreed to by the entire board. And so I'm asking that we have a special meeting on May 13th, 5 p.m. in front of the awards in case we need to complete that prior to the May 15th date. No money will be allowed in the first year without that signed MOU or finalized agreement. All certified staff fall under this agreement. Cooperative staff fall under the cooperative matrix, so they are not included. And emergency authorized staff, they kind of fall in their own special place. So when, on May 15th, they will send out this statement, you have to agree to it. I hereby attest that at the direction of the Board of Trustees, that the district has adopted a district policy or has negotiated and finalized an agreement with the teachers union to ensure that base teacher pay as defined in 20-9-324 Montana Code annotated is at least the amount necessary to meet the legislative goals for teacher-based pay in accordance with the provisions of 20-9-324 for the fiscal year beginning July 1st, 2025. And so that you are aware, the base pay then would be $41,615, and that is, and it also has to be 62% of the average salary for 2025-26. The first calculation I had, and I have changed this since because I had to go back in and look at it again, and we had some of the salaries, so it's closer to 79. So we are well within our parameters. If our current base is $35,713, and in 5 years that base will go to $46,159 over their incremental, and it must be 70% of the average. They said that 70% of the average is their final percentage. They're not going to move that up any, but the base pay will continue to adjust. And some of the questions were, well, what happens after 5 years? And they said that if this is signed into, which this afternoon at 1, it passed its second reading, so now it just has to go to third reading. It passed with a vote of 40-10. But after those 5 years, everybody's question is, what happens to us? And they said once it's signed, it goes into perpetuity. Thanks, Howard. We don't have to worry about it being sunset at some point. So, and once this is voted on, it's permanent funding according to both MTSBA and SAM. So, and then also, just so that you're aware, the quality educator payment is for the clerk. We will have to adjust that job description with these pieces. Are there any questions? I won't go over the policy, but it's there for you to ask questions, or but we don't need to do that because we have the authority.
Thank you. We'll move on to committee reports, negotiations.
We've moved it. I think we've covered everything but the big one, which is money. I think everything else is we've pretty much taken care of. Nothing real earth-shattering. Some changes in language. Don't send a notice.
By telegram?
Yeah, by telegram.
Yeah.
Which one of them?
Yeah.
Other than that, there's nothing. I think we meet again the 22nd, if memory serves, to hopefully finish that or get closer to finishing that. That's about it.
Is there any policy? Or is that
No,
just-
I brought that policy, but you don't have to act on it because the collective bargaining unit is in place.
Move on to the 25-26 school calendar.
So it is the last page in your packet, and it was given to staff, which was more of a split vote. It went to the parents and the students, and consensus was that this was the calendar that they chose, which is 155 school days, 162 teacher days, and there's 1087 hours in it, so it meets all of the parameters of OPI. So I would move to apply with.
Is that a 4-day school week?
Well, it's a modified, because the first week of every month is a 5-day.
Okay.
And how does that work with like assuming that it's more of a 4-day than we had last year? How does that work with like the office staff or like the non-teachers as far as how many hours they get during?
So we talked about that, so your parents are gonna lose some time. The office staff will work 4 9s on those 4-day weeks. Janitors, it's not gonna change anything because they come in and clean, during basketball games, volleyball games, all of that, so it's not gonna change for them. Like John, it's not gonna change because he comes and does the boiler or whatever. Christy's not gonna change. Bus drivers, they're gonna be short those, but, when I schedule games, there's a couple of them on Thursday, but the majority of games are on Friday and Saturday, so those hours will, be put there instead.
Yeah, how does the office staff feel on that, based on the fact that they took a 40-hour job? I mean, is that gonna affect them taking the job? I mean, it's 4 hours less a week is what you're essentially saying?
So they're gonna make those other 4 up on Friday, they're gonna have to come in on a Friday
Okay,
and make up the other 4.
Okay.
Yeah,
so they'll still get a 40 hour.
yeah, but they're gonna,
Right,
like, make copies for the teachers and
right,
do the things that we don't do, because
yeah, sounds good.
Any other questions? We need to move formally.
I'll move to approve the calendar for school,
First
I'll second it.
and a second, any more discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion passes. The audit.
Quick question, did we get the audit?
No, not yet.
Okay.
We have it on there in case we did receive it in time.
Well, we're doing the same, so we need to mark that. Thank you.
Graduation request.
So the student chose not to come, and actually has, not returned to school, so, the agreement that we made is sort of null and void, so you can vote on that if you so choose, but they've chosen not to come back, even though we tried to work with them on that. So it's up to you if you want to,
Clear this up, how about if I make a motion to table it?
that one sounds good. Okay. And if they choose to come back, then we'll do something.
Okay. Performance testing, sorry.
You gotta vote on that.
Oh, sorry, Bob. First and a second, thank you.
Yeah.
All in favor say aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Now we can move on. Sorry, Kristen.
Maybe hard for everyone to see it. I'm not sure what the best angle would be. You guys want to see it?
Yes.
Okay. For every election that we have, we need to anybody that may choose to use the machine, or for somebody that has a disability so that we are ADA compliant. The person, if they wish to vote with this, we would put paper in the machine, and then I would leave the room so they could vote in privacy. What it brings up first is the 3-year term, and if I try to vote for more than 3 people, it stops you and says you have too many selected. If I only vote for 1 person and try to move on, it will stop and say, I have selected fewer choices than the number allowed. You can do that if you want, but it's letting you know so that you can go back and select the right number. There are 3 spots for write-in candidates, but because nobody filed as a write-in candidate, if they put something in there, it won't be counted because they have to file within a certain amount of time. When you hit the next button, then you have the 1-year term available, and if I try to do more than 1, it unclicks the other one because there's only 1 spot that you can do. So if I undervote that one by not selecting anybody, it will stop him and say you have not fully voted. You can go back and you can select somebody, go to the next one. And then it has the levy, it has the ballot wording, and it has for the additional levy, against the additional levy. And then, once you're done, you verify your selections. It'll show you each one, your 3-year, your 1-year, your levy. And if everything looks correct, you can go ahead and hit next. If you changed your mind or need to fix something, you can go back. And then we print the card. The card would then be stapled to their paper ballot, and it would be put in a secrecy envelope. And the way that it remains a secret is if we only had 1 public person come in and use this, we make sure that a few people at the county also do theirs, because if you only had 1, you know how that 1 person voted. So it would help keep it a secret ballot. And then they can double check where it's printed to see who is voted for, to make sure that it matches up. Does anybody have any questions? The other things that make it ADA compliant, there are headphones if somebody needs to hear it. And then, I heard that if you don't have working hands, that there's a straw that you can blow through and make your selections in place.
Thanks, Christy.
By hand. By hand.
Personnel.
So Nancy Hagan has turned in her resignation as the student council sponsor, so I would recommend to accept that resignation.
I'll move to accept that resignation.
The first. Second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion passes.
And so I will go through all of these, and if you wish to pull any out, you certainly may. I would recommend to hire the following list: John Michelson, maintenance; Sherry Larson, secretary; Angie Egler, secretary; Ruth Holmes, nutrition; Melody Forkin, nutrition; Melody Forkin, bus route; Keith McDaniel, bus route; Rhonda O'Day, bus route; Amanda Clayton, janitorial; Christina Fremont, janitorial; and Tom Graham, summer janitorial.
I'll move to rehire them as a whole.
First.
I'll second that.
And second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion passes.
And then extracurricular, I would recommend the hiring of the following: head football, Roger Schreier; assistant football, J.D. Walker; junior high volleyball, Cassie Coburn; elementary volleyball, Natasha Deal; junior high girls basketball, Katrina Pettis; elementary girls basketball, Alexa Reed.
And first, and a second, any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Special board meeting on May 15th.
So that, the only thing on that at this point would be to finalize the CBA, because we have to meet that May 15th deadline. And we can put it at 5, or we can put other things if you so choose to. Because you can come at 5 and you can eat dinner and then go to the awards.
What is it, sir?
What's that?
It's
Is
on,
on here.
Chad's wife is here.
There you go.
Do you need a motion for that?
Do you need a motion?
I don't, we'll just have it unless you.
Just a motion, yeah.
All right, thank you very much, meeting adjourned.